Turkey is not only occupying vast swaths of northern Syria, but on top of that, I recall Turkey dismantling around 1,500 factories, like literally coming in, disassembling industrial machines, factory hardware, and just taking it to Turkey, like stealing it. I mean, talk about plundering, right? You got the Americans stealing the oil, ISIS before them, and, you know, running it through Turkey, or Turkey buying it. And then not only stealing the resources buried deep beneath the earth, but also the bloody infrastructure. So they either bomb it, Israel bombs it, or Turkey steals it. Wow. That's really amazing, right? You have many accounts of this from people in Syria. Here's one headline from the Nordic Monitor. Say, well-connected Turkish businessman is alleged to have plundered Syrian factories. Thank you, this is the correct word. Absolutely. Christ, look at that. A cooling tower of a power plant in Syria was destroyed in 2020 by Turkey-backed jihadist group and sold to Turkey for scrap parts. Wow, really, just thank you so much. This is a letter from Syria's ambassador where he talks about this, right? He says, first, since mid-May, the start of the wheat and barley harvesting season, the occupying American and Turkish forces have been burning harvested crops in the Jazira region of Syria in order to strip the country's breadbasket of its bounty. That crime, which constitutes a new form of economic terrorism and is tantamount to a war crime, is being committed against the Syrian people by the occupying forces with the assistance of their affiliated terrorist organizations and separatist militias, which continue to bombard cities and regions, destroy infrastructure, displace people from their homes, murder and abduct civilians, and rob and plunder their property by force of arms. Now, in their latest criminal act, they have burned tens of thousands of hectares of wheat and barley and destroyed and looted power stations, even as they continue to plunder the natural resources of Syria, including its oil and gas. I have never read this letter before, not that I can recall, and I literally just said the same thing to you, right? I didn't talk about the burning of the crops, but it's still I talked about the oil, so it's still theft of, you know, natural resources, agriculture, and then stealing also, you know, factory equipment. I mean, selling power stations for scrap parts. What the hell? Here, this is 19th of May 2020 from the Syrian ambassador to the United Nations. He says, quote, over the past 2 years, a succession of armed terrorist groups in control of the area have dedicated themselves to looting generators, transformers, central panels, cables, and fuel tanks at the Zayzoun thermal plant and selling them as, quote-unquote, spoils of war to Turkish traders and smugglers. The latter dismantle those spoils, transport them into Turkey, and sell them illicitly to Turkish investors and manufacturers. They then split the profits with the leaders of those armed terrorist groups, in particular the Levant Liberation Organization, the Turkestan Islamic Party, Haras ad-Din, and Ahrar al-Sham. Already, I can tell you, Ahrar al-Sham, I mean, we all know what these groups are. They're the same shit at the end of the day. You know, they pretend to be this and that. At the end of the day, they are they're the hand of the West in Syria. That's it. They're the hand of the West in Syria. And he named the Turkestan Islamic Party. That is the Uyghur movement, right? So you have about 5,000 Uyghurs from China in Syria fighting, and then the news, they look at Syria and say, oh, look, there's Syrian rebels. What the fuck? That guy came from China. This one came from Afghanistan. He's from Tunisia. Like, what? They're not Syrian, and they're not rebels. They're mercenaries. And this is why the media is so disgusting. It doesn't mean you have to like this side or that side, but look at the language and look at how they lie by omission, right? They leave information out, and it's tantamount to lying to you. Again, like, how can anyone come in and say this is okay, like Turkey allowing at best, right? If we say Turkey, we're talking about the armed forces, about the government. These people are not stupid. First of all, Turkey's in NATO. Turkey loves its border so much that it's already inside Syria. So obviously they care and they maintain the border. They're allowing this. You can't, motherfucker. Did you see this powers? Look at that. How the hell can you bring that into Turkey without the Turkish government knowing? It's enormous. And you telling me they're innocent? Nah, man. No. That thing is a spaceship. Christ. So they're allowing this. They're allowing this and they're buying this just like they bought the oil. And they're funding terrorism. And now Turkey wants to take more Syrian land, right? They talk about protecting their border. No. Syria needs to protect its border from Turkey. Not the other way around.